Good evening, everyone, and I'm once again back with a new video, rather the new film review. So last evening, I had the fortune of watching the newly released Hindi language medical drama genre film, The Vaccine War, which has been termed as the first bioscience film of the country. So overall, it was a good film on the part of me, although a mixed review will emanate from my psychic come intellectual apparatus as far as this film is concerned. Because on one hand, this film the narrative and storyline of this film was highly commendable because it paid rich tributes and honored the untiring and flawless as well as selfless efforts of the scientists as well as the medical fraternity of the country who left no stone unturned while making the first indigenous vaccine of the country, Covaxin, during the high time of the corona crisis, or rather when the entire country along with the rest of the world were reeling under the first two waves of the deadly novel coronavirus. So hats off to the entire team of the vaccine war for honoring as well as paying rich tributes to the efforts of the scientific and medical fraternity as well as to the corona warriors for their untiring, flawless and selfless efforts while making the first indigenous vaccine of the country, Covaxin, as well as for rendering their precious and invaluable services to the humanity as well as mankind. But somehow it seemed to me, although it's a personal opinion, that media was portrayed in a biased way because here, although by means of one character, the media was portrayed as a villain in this film, and media reporting was portrayed seemed to be portrayed as manipulated or fabricated, as well as the various aspects of such as media trial, media bias, then media manipulation, etc., were portrayed. And in the climax scene, it was shown as the media to be exposed by the team of scientists, which seemed to be a bit unconvincing for me. It's not that these sorts of malpractices doesn't exist in the media scenario, or maybe existing, but still, I think that just like the medical fraternity and the scientific community were honored and paid rich tributes by means of this film for their untiring and selfless efforts while making the vaccine, as well as the credit or honor was also given to the corona warriors or the COVID warriors for their relentless and untiring and selfless and flawless as well as determined and persistent services rendered to the humanity during the health crisis or during the pandemic period. Similarly, some of the aspects of good reporting done by the media also could have been, highlighted by means of this film. Although it's a very, very personal opinion from my side, owing to my own empirical observation, which may differ from person to person, or which may or may not be agreed to by the other film critics or reviewers, as well as by the other media educators. But my point is that overall, this film has been a good one. Nana Patekar, the veteran and talented actor of B-Town, was outstanding, terrific, superb, magnificent, spectacular, mind-blowing, and marvelous in the lead role, and while portraying the character of a scientist of the ICAMR, and the other actors, veteran as well as the other actors, also did perform pretty well, especially while performing or portraying the characters of scientists of the ICMR as well as the other research institutions. So overall, the film was good, and the best thing, as I have already stated, that the untiring, flawless, selfless, as well as the determined, dedicated, and persistent efforts of the scientists as well as the medical fraternity of the country, who left no stone unturned while making the first indigenous vaccine of the country, despite all the challenges and difficulties during the corona period, was absolutely commendable. And hats off to the filmmaker as well as the entire team of this film, The Vaccine Warrior, already termed as the first bioscience film of the country as well as a medical drama genre film. But as already stated, the fourth pillar, democracy, media, could have been portrayed in a balanced way. That's my personal opinion. The bad thing of media was highlighted. It could have been fine if some good things of media or some authentic or honest reporting of media, if were also portrayed by means of this film, then it could have been more rational. It could have seemed to be more rational. That's what I feel. But anyways, overall, a mixed review will be emanating from my psychic come intellectual apparatus as far as this film is concerned. And one more thing I observed while watching this film is that the narrative seemed to be a bit slow paced, especially in the pre-interval, that is in the first half, pre-interval period or in the first half, because it seemed to be moving at a very, very slow pace, or rather the snail's pace, unnecessarily making it to be lengthy. Although in the second half, that is in the post-interval period, the narrative seemed to be picking up momentum or speed. That's what I felt. But overall, it's a must-watch film. As already stated, it's the novel. It's a very, very noble effort on the part of the filmmaker to pay rich tributes to the corona warriors as well as to the scientists as well as the entire medical fraternity for their untiring and flawless and selfless efforts while making the vaccine as well as while rendering their precious and invaluable services to humanity, even by keeping their personal lives as well as personal interest on the vaccine. But as already stated, the media portrayal could have been a bit balanced. Yeah, it was fine that some of the aspects like media trial, media bias, media manipulation, fake news, etc., were highlighted, which may be true to some extent. There is no denying the fact, but still, the good things of media also could have been highlighted as far as my opinion is concerned. So, on that note, I would like to say that a mixed review will be emanating from my side as a film critic and reviewer for this film, The Vaccine War, and hope that such films we will be able to see in the future too. And on that note, let me wind up this video. And before winding up, I would like to say that please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe my channel, All Of This Blog. Thank you. Bye bye, and love you all.